Hey everyone, today I'm here with my brother Lewis and I'm going to be teaching him about the circuit tracks, which I have just down there. And he already knows a little bit, he's messed around with it a few times, but we're going to teach him like how more advanced features and how to make a full track with it. So let's just get started. By the way, Lewis has a channel, I will link it in the description. It's very something. Before I start, I should mention I don't really have a very good way to record audio from the mic and the circuit at the same time, so I just have it plugged into my speaker and you're just hearing the camera audio, so sorry about that, but it's the best I can do. Anyway, let's get started. So, you can just start with what you know about it. You have to explain what you're doing though.
Okay, so I'm going to try and make a drum beat.
So, he knows how the drum tracks work, mostly. So, just start with whatever drum beat you want. Don't do, like, you don't have to use all the tracks, just make something simple to start with. Play it. Okay, well that's interesting. Okay, just play it through.
Okay.
Wait, okay. So, here's what we got so far. You don't really know about the synth tracks very much, do you?
No, not
Okay.
really.
So do you want to finish a drum beat, or just,
Okay, yeah.
or do you want to go for? Well, because normally you would like expand the drum beat more partway through the song, right? It's up to you though. You can just like drag across it, you know. Like if you want to add a bunch, you can just go like that.
That'll do for now.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to teach you, well the first thing I'm going to teach you, is how to mess with samples. So, on the sample tracks you have these 4 parameters. So on the synth tracks you have 8, and on the sample tracks only the top row are lit up with a parameter. So, let's just go to the 4th track so I can demonstrate without messing up anything. Let's use a tom sample, because those are pretty responsive to all the parameters. So, oscillator mod controls the pitch, filter envelope controls the decay, which you can't see so much on this, but if I go to a hi-hat, if I go to an open hi-hat, normally it sounds like this. And then I can basically turn it into a closed one like that. So you can change the pitch, decay, and then with resonance, you can distort it. And with effects, it's a filter. So, do you hear what that's doing?
Yeah.
So if you go this way, it's a low pass filter. And if you go this way, it's a high pass filter. Do you know what those do?
Not really. But
So a low pass filter cuts out the high end stuff.
Okay.
So it just leaves the bass and some mid stuff.
Yeah.
And the high stuff is quieter. And a high pass filter does the opposite.
Alright.
This is the master filter knob, and that goes low pass, that goes high pass. But because it's master, that applies to your entire sound. On the drum tracks, you get to do that for each one using this filter knob. So
Okay.
you can do things like that. And also, once you mess with the sound, you can hold clear and turn them all to the right, and it will bring everything back to where it was.
Alright, yeah.
So if you want to just quickly mess with the parameters on these sample tracks. So one thing is, when you make it really low, it also makes the sample last longer, right? So if you want to cancel that out, you can also turn down the decay, so you can get a lower pitch and also not be so long.
Okay.
Okay, so now let's move on to the synth tracks. So you can do whatever you want, but just to keep it simple, I would do a bass and like a lead.
Okay.
Usually I would start with bass, so I'd put on synth 1, but it's up to you. So as you can tell, this is not the greatest bass preset. So if you go into preset, you can change your synth sounds. So there are 4 pages of 32 presets.
Wow, there's a lot to choose from.
No, because this is my pack and I've only made 4.
Oh, okay.
So on here there's only 4 presets, but they're quite versatile, but the default pack comes with a lot.
Okay.
So there's all of them. As you can tell, these two are more. This is my main bass preset that I use, and these two can do bass. That one I wouldn't do bass with.
So I'm just gonna choose this one.
Okay, so that's my main bass preset. So now if you go in here, you're back to your familiar sequencer, and these are 8 knobs. And because I made this patch, I get to decide what all the knobs do. Right. So what I like to do, like in a case where it's not my own pack and I don't know what the knobs do, is turn everything down and try to make a sound.
Okay.
Right? So normally you'd imagine, like, the company Novation has put labels here, so the people who design patches are supposed to follow that sort of. So what we can do, if you can do it, so what amp envelope does normally is make the sound last longer. So I would turn that up so you can actually hear it. But also you need to turn up the filter so you can hear the high-end stuff. No, keep it up. Turn up the filter. No, frequency. Filter frequency number 5. Now you can hear it. You might want to go up an octave just so you can really tell what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay,
so then the filter envelope is going to add, if you turn the filter frequency down and the envelope up, it adds movement to the filter, so it goes down over time.
Okay.
And then, if you do that and turn up the resonance, and maybe turn the envelope down a little bit, that's an acid bass sound. So you can use something like that if you want.
Okay.
Do you want to do acid bass?
I suppose, that sounds pretty cool.
And then you can also distort it. Effects adds distortion, but I don't think that works so well for acid bass. You can do a little bit. Okay, so now you've designed a sound. So now you know how to use the sequencer, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case it's a little bit different, because on the drum tracks, when you just have one sample, you can just tap them in. Yeah. But like on this, you can't just tap things in because it doesn't know which note to play, so you have to do the tap and hold thing.
Like that?
Yep, exactly.
How do I get rid of it?
You can either tap it, press it, and press the note again to get rid of it.
Okay.
Or say you have like a chord and you don't want to take off each one, you can just press clear note.
Okay.
You can press clear and then press the note.
Okay, so
you don't have to, like, you could just write something very simple.
What do these white buttons do?
The white ones?
Yeah.
Oh, they just represent each octave.
Oh.
So these are just normal buttons, normal notes, but see, like these two are the exact same. So those are, like, that's the top of this octave, and it's also the bottom of the next octave.
I like that one.
Okay, so if you want it to be a bit higher, you can go up an octave. Now that note is there, and you have access to some higher stuff. Yeah, that's fine. You can do that. You want to do that?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. So do you want to just record it in?
I don't really know what I'm doing.
Okay, what you do is I would just press play and play it out, and then once you decide on what you like, press record and actually record it in.
Sorry.
No, press play and play along with it. You might want to turn down the drums a bit so that you can hear. Doesn't have to be precise right now, just so that you can hear this better. Okay, so here's what we've got so far with drums and bass.
Pretty good.
Okay, so now the next thing we'll do is add in a synth 2, which would be, you could do chords, you could do a lead, you could do a whole bunch of things. So you can just decide what you want to do for that.
I don't know.
It's probably easy to do chords.
Yeah, I think I'll do chords.
Okay, so
should I change the preset?
Well, see what it's already on and see if you like it. The only thing is I don't know what these knobs do, because this is not my patch, this is the default patch, so I don't know what the knobs do. So you might want to put it to one I know about so I can explain it for you, if you like.
Which...
Yeah, oh yeah, you'll notice if you press and hold it, then it does it temporarily.
Oh. Okay.
So like, say, like not what the normal case of this would be something like you're on the mixer.
Yeah.
And you want to quickly add in something, or quickly add in something, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or say the thing I often use it for is quickly, like say I have a bunch of scenes, which you don't know what those are yet, but I have a bunch of scenes, and then I want to quickly modify one. I'll press and hold patterns, or the other one is press and hold tempo and quickly change it.
Okay.
Alright, so go to synth, and you can change your preset if you like.
Why are they all the same?
Oh, because this is the second page.
Oh.
There's only 4, remember?
I know.
I recommend using the first 3.
Yeah. I'm not going with this one.
Okay, so this one's nice and simple. It's only got 3 parameters.
Alright.
So if you turn these 2 down, it's just a sine wave. And this one controls the decay.
Okay.
And then this brings in a harmonic.
Alright.
And this controls the pitch of it.
Okay.
And
Sounds
then,
kind of alien.
but you can turn that down.
Alright.
So now, I would recommend again to play along with it. I recommend again to play along with it and see if you come up with something you like.
I don't know how to come up with something.
Just like play chords. You're automatically in a scale, right?
Yeah.
So you can just play any chords. Maybe things, not things that are next to each other, but you can just do things like that. And literally just move that shape around. Or you can extend one. You could do... You could go across octaves, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
If you're going to go across octaves though, that's a little bit painful. Don't you think?
Yes.
That's
I
too high
agree.
pitch. So if you go down, you can go here, and then you can include some of these notes here.
Okay.
But I wouldn't recommend doing these ones down here, because those are a bit too low for this kind of thing.
Okay. Oops.
Play it. 3, 4.
Oh, no.
Just play it again. Alright, cool. So do you want me to record that in? Or
I suppose.
you
I
can
don't
do it
know.
if you want to.
If I just have a question. If I go like,
Yeah.
I feel like this last one should be different
Yeah, you can do that.
or something like that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Alright.
But that's too long. So what we're
Okay.
going to have to do is go to patterns and put 2 in order. So we go
Alright.
to the second one and put that on 2 bars as well. And then if you press and hold them together, they'll go in a chain.
Alright.
But to record them, we might. Do you want to do it separately?
I suppose.
Or if we're going to record it live, we can do it all in one.
Just do it all in one. That seems easier.
Okay. Do you want to do it?
Oh no, you can do it.
Okay. I'm just going to try it first. Right. Like that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so you might have noticed I made a mistake there. So what we want to do is firstly find it. So you can press and hold these to preview it, and then you press this button to go into the next bar. So you can do that and try to find the mistake.
It's here.
Where? Okay, so what's the problem? Which note?
This one?
Yep. So you can get rid of it and press it again, and that sounds good now. So
Yeah.
now we can make sure these are together and play it all. So go. happy with that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so the final thing I want to teach you, actually there's a few more things, but the important part that you can, like the last thing you're going to need to just make a full song from the basics is how to arrange a song. Okay, so unfortunately my camera cut out the recording right there, so I'm just going to explain the rest of it right now. So as I mentioned, the next thing I taught him was how to arrange a full song. So what we did was I mentioned that you can create B sections, which could be something like a verse if the bit you already created was a chorus or anything like that, just a second section that you can alternate between them or something. And then, but we didn't do that. I just explained that that's something you can do. And then we just made we just took out all the patterns except for the bass. So it's just the bass playing, and then we brought in the drum, we brought in a kick drum, and then we brought in the chords and the snare drum, and then the hi-hats. So we brought them in over time. And then I showed him how to use scenes, which is where you create a set of patterns and then you save it as a scene, so that way you just trigger one scene and it switches a whole bunch of patterns at the same time, instead of having to time all these different button presses at the same time. You can just create a scene, which makes it easy to create song sections. So then you can, instead of having to focus on changing patterns, you can just press a scene and then focus on changing the filter or mixing or whatever else you want to do. And then the next thing I explained, so he did like a sort of full, not performance, but he just went through all the scenes. And then I explained how to use the effects section. So we just put some delay on the hi-hats and some reverb on the chords, and I just showed him the different options and how you use the knobs to control the sends for each track. And I think that was it. We just ended up with a final jam, and I'll just put a recording of the final jam right now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and that's going to be all for this video. I hope you found it interesting and entertaining watching me attempt to teach my brother how to use the circuit tracks a little bit. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and if you have any feedback or suggestions, leave them in the comments, and if you'd like to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!